I'm assuming that that's like my opinion on PEDs. I feel like people are gonna give me a lot of hate for this one. What is going on, guys? Welcome to today's video and welcome to my channel if you are new. Taylor here, and today's video is going to be a Q&A. I put up a little Instagram story and said I was going to do a Q&A here on my YouTube channel, and I actually got a lot of questions. I honestly haven't even really looked at them yet. I just screenshotted them when I did it. I'm going to read them for the first time here on camera and just answer. And yeah, I figured it'd be a good way for you guys to get to know me, as well as for me to answer any questions that anyone had for me that I wasn't already touching on my stories or my posts. As well as you guys just saw my 14-week out physique update. So at the end of this video, I am going to touch a little bit on what my coach said when I checked in with her on Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. I am currently 13.5 weeks out, but I filmed that update at 14 weeks out. So I'm going to give you guys a little scoop on what's been going on with me prep-wise, what the plan is for the next few days, and all of that at the end of this video. So stay tuned if you're interested in hearing about that. Otherwise, I'm going to set the camera up now and we're going to get right into the Q&A. Hello, hi, I'm in my bedroom. I'm literally sitting on a chair that I stole from the kitchen, but here we are filming the Q&A. So as I mentioned in the intro, I have not read any of these questions yet. I haven't done one of these before on my own, so I'm really excited for it, and I'm curious to see what everyone kind of was asking or had to say. So we're just gonna kind of roll with it and see what happens. So the first question I got is, what is your favorite cheat meal? So I personally don't do cheat meals. I do like refeed meals or free meals, or I'll do like an untracked day in general. I personally don't like the term cheat meal because it makes you feel like you're doing something wrong by eating a certain food or eating maybe a little bit outside of what your usual foods are. But obviously, for the point of the question, my favorite cheat meal or free meal would probably have to be either a burger or like a chicken sandwich or something like that. I feel like that's kind of my go-to when I go out. I'm like, I really want to have a burger because I don't have them very often. But other than that, I do really enjoy sweet stuff. So it would have to be like donuts or like a pastry. Like that would be what I would go for, like a pastry, donut, maybe even like pancakes or like something really sweet. Like that's what I'd prefer. But as for like a dinner type meal, something that if I could go calorie free, I'd probably get like a burger and fries, something fun like that, and like nachos or whatever. I love like finger foods and nachos and snacks and stuff, but as for a meal for myself, that's probably what I would do or choose to get if I could just get something completely like calorie free. Second question, do you like pizza? Do you like it with pineapple? Okay, so I feel like people are gonna give me a lot of hate for this one. I actually don't not like pineapple on pizza. I like pineapple on Hawaiian pizza a lot because I like pineapple and ham together. Would I order pineapple on my own pizza? Would I eat it? Yeah. So I feel like I'm kind of in the middle, which I know people are like, you have to pick one or the other. So if I had to just straight pick, I'd probably say no. I just eat regular pizza without pineapple, but if someone bought it, I would eat it, and I wouldn't be disgusted. Like, I don't hate it, it's not my preference. I'd rather get like extra cheese or bacon or like hot peppers or something like that. Or like do a barbecue chicken pizza. I don't know, it's not my favorite thing, but I don't hate it. So yeah, I would eat it, I guess, but not my personal favorite. How tall are you? I say I'm 5'6". When I actually get measured for my shows, I measure in at 5'5 3/4". So that's what I'll go with, I guess, 5'5 3/4". Do you have any hobbies besides fitness? No, I'm kidding. I do definitely have other hobbies. A lot of them do definitely relate to exercise, just because I played a lot of sports growing up. So I just find, you know, getting together with someone and doing a hike, or like going to play basketball or sports outside in the summer, especially swimming, all that stuff is like super fun. And I consider all of those hobbies, I guess. I also really enjoy reading and like listening to podcasts. A lot of it is obviously, again, fitness related. So I don't know if that counts, but I mean, obviously I like to go out with my friends and hang out with my friends. I'm not a big TV movie kind of person, but yeah, those are kind of my like go-to things. To just either hang out, spend time with my friends, and grab a drink somewhere, grab some food, talk, socialize, go for a drive, go for a walk, that kind of stuff. As I'm saying this, I feel like I'm like super boring, but anyway, how many pull-ups can you do? So this is something that I've been trying to work on in the last few months. I feel like I never ever focused on like body weight strength. Obviously I've been working out for like a period of time, but I never really had a focus on strength, like when it came to my body weight and pull-ups, push-ups, dips, all that kind of stuff, sit-ups, whatever. So something I've been really focusing on the last few months, or even the last few weeks. So I'm doing a lot of assisted pull-ups right now, push-ups at home. I've been trying to do ab rollers. Matt, if you're watching this, don't at me. My friend Matt always makes me do them on the weekends with him. But yeah, so it's a work in progress for me, so I'm not gonna come out here and be like, I can do 20 pull-ups, because I probably actually can't. But check back with me in a few months. I promise by the end of the summer, I'll be able to do at least 5. So I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but guys, I haven't done them. I didn't work on them before. It wasn't a focus of mine. So, I mean, I'm not embarrassed to say it. I probably can't do that many pull-ups, but I will, and I'm trying. So I said it here on YouTube, so it's gonna happen. Okay, so next question. Do you follow any sports? So as for sports teams, like right now in the leagues that are going on, I find it kind of hard to follow, especially with COVID and everything. And again, I'm not a big TV person. I kind of grew out of watching TV, which also means I kind of grew out of watching sports. I obviously follow bodybuilding. That's something that I'm super passionate about. I do kind of check in with powerlifting stuff here and there. Like if there's a huge meet or like something going on TV, I'll watch it. Otherwise, I really do enjoy watching sports. Like I love watching hockey. I enjoy watching soccer. I just find it super long. I enjoy watching football. Same thing. I just find it super long, and I can't devote right now like hours of my day to sit down and watch something. So I guess the answer is no. I don't really follow any sports. However, I've played almost every single sport out there. I know how they all work, and I do love like actually physically going to games. I find that super entertaining. If I have friends playing especially, it's awesome, and I enjoy sports in general. So now that I'm in this new apartment, I have a new TV, maybe we'll start watching some sports again. And I definitely have favorite teams and whatnot, but as for like following a specific team or a particular sport like basketball or hockey right now, no, I'm not really following anything besides bodybuilding and what's been going on with that. Okay, so next question. Protein powder for someone who's lactose intolerant, preferably a brand with lots of different flavors. So I also have an issue digesting a lot of different protein powders that aren't isolates or vegan protein powders. That is because there is dairy in whey and casein blends usually. So it depends on the quality of the protein powder that you're getting to. If it's like refined a lot and processed and filtered and all of that, it's gonna probably have less lactose in it, or the percentage of lactose can be really low. So for me, it really depends. Any kind of isolate, they're usually virtually lactose free, so you can probably go with an isolate of any brand. I really like the authentic ISO. I like the chocolate peanut butter flavor. There's a vanilla flavor too, and I've recently been using the authentic whey, and it's actually an isolate whey blend, and for whatever reason it does not bother my stomach whatsoever. So obviously if you're lactose intolerant, you cannot do dairy at all, you want to get something that's completely dairy free or like virtually dairy free, go for a vegan protein powder or an isolate protein powder. Authentic whey has yet to bother me, and I'm extremely sensitive to protein powders and usually just dairy in general. So if you're open-minded to trying some things out, I mean, you can test it out and let me know what you think. I have tons of different new flavors in the authentic whey, so I would definitely check it out and see if it's something that you can process, digest, or even just look at the ingredients and see if it would work for you. I'll link it down below for you if you're interested, but any sort of isolate or vegan protein powder that's dairy-free should be fine. The next question I got is PEDs question mark. So I'm assuming that that's like my opinion on PEDs. performance enhancement drugs, if anyone's wondering. So like steroids, SARMs, things like that. My opinion, honestly, on these things have changed insanely over the last few years. I'm currently a natural athlete. That is how I plan to stay. If anything does change though, I think that I'd be as open as possible about that. I don't think there should be any shaming towards anyone who uses PEDs. I think that the last year or so there's been a lot more people coming out talking about it, which I personally really like. And to be honest, to each their own. If you are competing at a high level and that's kind of something that you need to do, if you're aware of the impacts, side effects, if you know about what you're actually doing, if you have someone who's guiding you, someone you can trust, that changes everything. Do I think that people should just immediately jump on PEDs when they have yet to put in the work themselves? No, personally I don't. I think you should try to get the most out of your genetic potential, your natural potential. Obviously do it the most healthy way if you are going to do it. I just think education is the biggest thing, and just being aware of what the side effects may be. Obviously health can be questioned. What someone finds healthy versus what other people find healthy is going to be different across the board no matter what. So if you are going to do it, just doing it in the most health conscious way. That's kind of like what I agree with, I guess. But no, I don't have any negative opinion anymore on PEDs. The only thing I just don't like is when people are competing naturally, especially at lower levels, like amateur levels, taking PEDs when they could be competing, you know, not naturally and doing well, taking PEDs like in an open division or something. I don't really agree with that crossover, but it happens, and there's a lot more people taking PEDs, especially females, than you think. My eyes have definitely been opened big time with competing in bikini and just being in the fitness industry for the last few years. And would I personally do it? I think it depends on where I am and if it's beneficial in my journey at that time. Right now it's not, so no. I'd like to see myself do what I can without taking them. And like I said, hopefully if the time ever did come, I'd feel comfortable enough talking about that on camera. I mean, I like to be totally transparent, so that would be my plan. But yeah, I know some people can't talk about it because of their contracts and things like that. I'm not really in any of those positions. If I was doing it, I feel like I could just come out and say that. So yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I mean, I don't judge anyone who does that. I think you still have to put the work in, and there's a lot more to it than people know about. So that's enough of me rambling about PEDs, but that's kind of where my head is at in opinion to those. So no judgment, do your thing. I support people who put the work in and educate themselves on the area. Yeah, so next question. Are you single? Am I single? I am very single, yes. I have been single for almost a year now, maybe like 9 months or so. I had a boyfriend for 3.5, 4 years, and he's a great guy. It just didn't really work out. I kind of needed some time to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So I spent like the last 6 to 8 months honestly not even dating and just purely focused on my YouTube channel, purely focused on my social media, myself, my friends, moving here to Nova Scotia. There's a lot of things that I just didn't really think about before. Now that I have this extra free time, I've really just been focusing on becoming more independent and true to myself. And I feel like without really knowing what I want with myself, it's hard for me to know what I want with someone else. And I am dating, like I'm definitely open to dating. I think dates are fun. I think it's a great way to meet people. I think that if something came along and it felt right, I would do it. I'm not against it. It's just, I'm really busy right now. I enjoy being busy. I enjoy focusing on me and being selfish a little bit. So I guess if that means I'm going to be single for longer because I'm, you know, doing better in my own personal life, and that's how it's gonna have to be for a little bit. But no, I'm definitely not against hanging out with somebody. I'm getting to know somebody, dating. It's just nothing serious has gone on in the last little while because I've just been so focused on my own personal stuff, if that makes sense. Since you're counting macros now, do you allow yourself a few yummy foods? For example, Oreos. I love Oreos. Oreo Thins, golden Oreo Thins, the way to my heart. I could probably sit down and have a full pack if I wanted to and not get sick of them and be like, okay, this is great. Camera died. So yeah, I like to follow kind of like the 80-20 rule with it. So where 80% of the foods I eat are like whole nutrient dense foods, and 20% is kind of like me fitting things in that I enjoy that maybe like not considered overly healthy or calorie friendly or macro friendly. I think what is macro friendly or calorie friendly to me when I'm on prep is completely different than what would be calorie friendly or macro friendly to me when I'm not on prep, because my calorie range changes. To answer the question, I love Oreos, I love different treats and things, and I do fit them in. Personally, I feel like that's the best way for me not to feel restricted and to just feel satiated and satisfied over the long term. And yeah, so I do fit things in. I mean, you need to do what's best for you. What is your go-to ab workout? So for me, I trained core a lot for a lot of years, and then I kind of stopped a little bit over the last few months, and I'm just getting back into it again. But I personally really like to do core circuits, and I love the captain's chair. For some reason, it's like one of my favorite things to use. I just really feel it in my lower mid abs, and versus like a crunch, I usually feel it in like my upper abs. But I really like to do the captain's chair. I like to do stomach vacuums. I think they're super, super important. They really help to build a strong core foundation. And rope cable crunches. Those are probably like my go-tos right now. Obviously, heel touches, leg raises, planks, all of that stuff is good too, but that's probably my favorite currently. Favorite movie? I don't know if I really have one. I feel like I like funny movies a lot. Like I really like Step Brothers. I really like anything with like Jonah Hill in it. I find him hilarious. Seth Rogen, things like that. I prefer to just like laugh while I'm watching movies. Like that's just kind of how I am. Thoughts on girls not shaving their armpits? So I personally shave my armpits. My thoughts on it: do what you want. Doesn't bother me if you do, doesn't bother me if you don't. If you're comfortable doing it, do it. If you're comfortable not doing it, don't do it. I don't think it's even up for debate what someone else does with their own body. I think that if people are preaching being open about how they do things, and they should be accepting of how other people do things too. Obviously, everyone has preferences when it comes to what they find attractive or what they like for themselves, and I think that having your own opinion on that is totally valid. But for me, it doesn't bother me at all, and honestly, more power to you if you don't care what anyone thinks. Are you married? I think I already covered that when I said that I was extremely single, but yeah, no, I'm not married. How would you explain reverse dieting? So I actually am someone who doesn't really struggle with reverse dieting. I personally love the reverse diet. I think the reverse diet is more important than the prep or like the couple weeks before the show, if anything, because your body is very vulnerable and fragile. It's also a really great time for you to put on muscle and just get focused, like, you know, look more muscular, feel better, and honestly, like, have a better mindset towards food. I think that slowly increasing things, like having a little bit more of things in a slower period of time, makes you just feel good, you don't overeat, all that. But how it works is basically you diet down, you get to a certain point, especially for bikini prep or prep in general. You're dieting down, you're cutting down, you get to the show. You're usually really dehydrated at this point where you're like cut, shredded, whatever your goal is that you dieted down for. Reverse dieting would be slowly increasing the calories back up while monitoring your weight and other changes, energy levels, and things like that. You're basically trying to get your calories back up to maintenance calories at a weight that you feel comfortable. So for me, maintaining 130 pounds at a certain amount of calories would be like my maintenance calories, my maintenance weight. But if I'm at a show and I'm prepping and I'm like 115 pounds or smaller, I can't just like go and put that weight on in a couple days. I need to slowly increase things, work with my metabolism. You don't want to completely shock your body and shock your system. Basically have a plan to slowly gain weight while slowly increasing calories, getting your body and mind and everything used to that increase again, and energy and all of that. I don't know if that was a good explanation. Maybe I'll touch on that in a different video. I feel like I could definitely elaborate further, but basically reverse dieting is slowly increasing calories, maybe decreasing cardio a little bit, and watching your weight kind of get back up to a normal level or a comfortable level for you. As I go through these questions and as I talk a little bit more about this stuff, I feel like there are videos I could make just discussing one of these questions and going on forever, and I am hoping to start a podcast very soon, so maybe that's kind of what I'll do there. I've been finding my vlogs and my videos, they're a little bit longer than I would like them to be, so hopefully if I start a podcast or people are interested in that, I can kind of do the whole talking explanation side of things there, and then kind of just do the video vlog stuff on YouTube and, you know, entertainment stuff there, and kind of separate them a little bit So if you guys would be interested in just like hearing me talk, then maybe I'll do a like podcast series and then also incorporate like an actual podcast with Alicia or somebody else on my channel and on like Apple Music or Spotify or whatever. Send me a message if you're interested in that or if you enjoy me speaking on these topics, because I could probably go on forever, which is why I am concluding this Q&A here. You guys, thanks so much for asking these questions. I'm definitely going to do these again. I feel like once a month would be awesome to do a Q&A. Maybe I'll get like a friend in or my sister in or something like that to do another one, but I'm going to just talk a little bit on prep and my update from Day Raja. So this was the first week that my weight didn't really do a major drop or a drop at all, and my measurements changed a little bit, not too much, and I had a lot of bloating and a little bit of issues. So wanted to touch on that super quickly. We hadn't changed anything for probably 4 weeks, and I was consistently losing weight at like a very good pace and feeling better and looking better. So when I talked to Day Raja Tuesday, she said for the next 3 days, let's kind of do a little bit of a push and then we'll see where you stand and decide whether or not we're going to pull back and go from there. So the next 3 days I've increased my cardio a little bit. So I'm doing a morning session, an evening session, still low impact, so like slight incline on the treadmill. Training staying the same, and my carbs are down 10 grams. So honestly, not even really noticeable. If I have a busy day, half the time I'm usually eating rice cakes and things to just like try to get my carbs up to where they need to be. So fats are still the same, protein's still the same. No other major changes besides that. And I'm kind of happy, like making the adjustments and cutting things down, having room to pull from makes me feel very happy. Like I still feel so much more ahead of myself than I was years ago. So having to cut things back a little bit or dig a little bit deeper for a few weeks, I'm excited to see how my body responds. So in a few days, I will probably check in after these changes, show you guys what I'm looking like. Hopefully my sleep, digestion, all of that gets a little bit better. I was slacking on my water intake, and I really do feel that's what was going on there. So hopefully now that I've increased my water intake to around 4 liters a day, things will start moving better for me, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you guys like the kind of Q&A stuff, if you want to hear podcasts, more discussion things from me, let me know. Otherwise, I post on my Instagram and my TikTok pretty much every single day. Alicia and I have a challenge coming up. Go sign up, grab your girlfriends, sign up for it. It's a 6-week Empower Challenge for women, and we are gonna do a lot of educational pieces, weekly Zooms with us, weekly topics, weekly challenges. There's a grand prize, so check out my Instagram, check out Alicia's Instagram. Everything will be linked down below for you. If you want to work with me one-on-one, the link is below. I have a couple spaces left. I'm almost full. And yeah, I'm gonna close it up here. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys in a couple of days for another update and another video.